This is such an interesting conversation to me. Gilbert Arenas put up a clip that is titled, Gilbert Arenas says the NBA does not fear LeBron James. And this is coming from, I believe, Mario Chalmers going on Shaq's podcast, and Shaq also backing up this claim that no one feared LeBron James the same way they feared Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Let's see what they got to say, because is this true, man? I don't know what it is, man, but recently a lot of LeBron's teammates have been coming out and just, specifically from the Miami days, and just they've just been saying some things to me. I don't know.
Chalmers caught some heat last year after saying players don't fear LeBron. During a recent appearance on the Big podcast, Shaq echoed those sentiments.
So I've heard players say, including myself, I feared Mike. I've heard players in your generation say they feared Kobe. I've never really heard any players say they fear LeBron.
And you know, I got killed for that.
Why is that? You're not gonna get killed here. I'm just saying. When I first said that, people killed me for that. I'm with you.
I didn't think players really feared LeBron like they did Jordan.
I never heard anybody say it.
And it's not that you shouldn't fear Bron. I just think at the end of the day, Bron has been through so much that he wanted to be liked. So it was kind of like,
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do things now where like people like me, people respect. I mean, you're always gonna respect what he did, but you actually like Bron and want to be a fan of Bron now. So I think that's what that was.
So, but before Gil and them get to their analysis, I'm gonna just say this. I think the word fear is a very strong word, right? Especially in basketball. Fearing someone is crazy. Now, I feel like a lot of y'all might call, BSOLZ never played basketball before, and you're semanticing the fuck out of this conversation. But the way they talk about Kobe and Mike, it's on some like, man, they make me shiver in my timbers. And conversely, the way they talk about LeBron is just like, yeah, LeBron's just another dude. If their definition of fear is just not looking forward to playing someone on a given day, you know what I'm saying? When NBA players look at their schedule, oh shit, we got the Lakers next, or back then, oh shit, we got Miami next. I don't want to guard Bron today. You know what I'm saying? Or we got Chicago next. I don't want to guard Jordan today. I just don't see how that logic does not apply to LeBron. I think that logic applies to a lot of players today. I don't think a lot of players, when they see Denver on their schedule, they don't want to deal with Jokic. So do players fear Jokic or do they not? So I don't. It's weird to me. It's just that's gonna be the crux of my argument today. Is the word fear is just a very, very strong word. And I know I've heard a lot of the stories from the 90s and the 2000s about Kobe's aura and things of that nature, but I don't think they feared him. I think it was just, I don't want to deal with this dude on a Tuesday night type of thing. Oh wow! What's going
Never
on
a dull moment in Gil's Arena presented by Underdog Fantasy.
What's going on over here?
Thought Gil was about to relapse. So, players don't fear LeBron. Facts or cap? Kenyon, we'll start with you.
No, I remember Rio said it. People were like, damn, he hating, like shit like that. Like, no, I don't think the masses look at LeBron as a killer. Despite the stats, despite the resume, he's a likable guy. He's a likable teammate. He's a, So with that regard, I just don't think, even though he's put teams to bed, he's went on runs and the shit he did to Detroit when he was young, he's had situations that he could be looked at as that and be feared, but I just think the fact that everybody likes LeBron, right? Most people like LeBron in this era. So I don't, teammates as well, so I don't think he's, I agree with him. I just know, in the sense of basketball, he's a bad man. But it's just the optics looks, it's a difference, right?
I do think it's important to just acknowledge who is saying these things. Like I've heard Paul Pierce talk about, damn, I didn't want to, like, out of everyone that I've wanted to defend, or out of all the greats that I defended, Melo, even more than LeBron, was one of those dudes that I didn't want to defend Melo compared to LeBron. I think it's just important to examine who is saying these things. And a lot of these dudes, let's just be honest, played/peaked in the 90s and the 2000s. When you look at Kenyon Martin's career, Kenyon Martin, he retired in 2015, but let's just be honest, a majority of his career was from 2000 to 2010, right? When you look at Shaquille O'Neal, even though this is a guy who played with LeBron James, his peak was in the 90s, in the early 2000s, and he was already waning in the mid to late 2000s, right? Retired in 2011. When you look at Norris Cole is a guy who retired after 2017. He was actually still playing good in 2016, but we know Norris Cole from these days right here. Mario Chalmers ended in 2018, but a majority of his career was from 2009 and 2015. I say this to say that while yes, there is some overlap between but in their careers, these guys definitely played post-championship LeBron after LeBron got his first ring. But all I'm saying is the guys during when these guys grew up was Kobe, was Jordan, right? And their experience of LeBron James while they were still at their peak, having to go out there and play meaningful minutes, was a LeBron James who was a great player, but was a guy who did not really figure it out yet. You know what I'm saying? I think any LeBron James version pre-2012 is a LeBron James version that did not figure it out. This was a guy where people wanted to make a jump shooter, where free throw shooting was a much bigger weakness in this period of his career compared to later years of his career. This was pre-LeBron James figuring out how to master the game and just dissect defenses left and right to the degree that he knows now. I would just, if they faced a LeBron James of 2012 to 2018, even 2020, when they were at their peaks as well, I don't think they'd be saying these things. I think a lot of the conversations around eras right now is really showing people's bias to just their era, what they grew up on, and what they want to romanticize, because that's their era, They want to be able to say that they played in the era of basketball. Players in the 80s do the same thing. Players in the 90s do the same thing. 2000s, 2010s. Every single player from every era. It is very rare to find someone who does not want to gas up their era, because if they don't gas up their era, there's kind of this implication that, you ain't really played in the best of the best era. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just one thing to consider in this conversation.
So you're saying that people don't think LeBron has that killer in him just by his...
Like, go ask his teammates, right? Go talk to Mike. Well, we know the way Mike teammates think about him. We've heard what Kobe teammates had it's not the same thing in the locker room, right? Yeah, he got your back. He gonna go to war with you in this, but it's just not the same thing, I don't think. But no, it's just the bad man on the basketball floor, but it's just a difference with hoopers and the conversation.
Okay.
I think.
So, Brandon, players don't fear LeBron, facts or cap?
I mean, it's facts. But why does it matter if they fear him or not? He's changed the game. He's done things to the way he wanted to do it. I just feel like when you got the gun and, the NBA is pointing it,
Good point.
giving you everything, it's all about how you want to everything to go. But I mean, I don't really care for the whole thing about him being feared or all that. Like, that shit don't mean nothing. Like, at the end of the day, get between his lines, and at the end of the day, let's win. And at the end of the day, what type of men are walking around being feared by the next man? Anyway, in anything. Can no man fear me? Like, you might.
Good point. Hey, that's what I said in the beginning. I think just fear is a crazy word. It's crazy. But I think another point in this conversation as well is how much are you guys willing to take in NBA players' words with now the popularity of player podcasts? When you have this perception about this one player and then said player comes out and says something else, how much are you trusting that player? Because I'll say this right now. I reacted to a clip of Allen Iverson talking about how he didn't have a left hand. Him, Allen Iverson himself. Let me correct myself. Not him not having a left hand, but him going to his left hand was a weakness for him. And I reacted to that clip, right? And by the end of that clip, I defended Allen Iverson, if anything. And the comment section was on my ass about that clip. It's on Instagram, it's on Shorts, it's everywhere. And it's done well everywhere. People were on my ass talking about, man, look at this AI disrespect from a guy who's never played basketball before. So now here we are, and we're hearing these players tell their stories, and there's still this level of doubt from us. I'm not gonna act like I don't have doubt as well when it comes to this whole conversation, but players are coming out and saying things about their experience in the NBA. And I do find it interesting how fans dissect what these players say and how much they believe in them. Because on one end of the spectrum, not on the other one end of the spectrum, because I feel like for such a long time, people wouldn't trust other fans and analysts talking about the game because they're not the players that played. But now that players are coming out echoing some of the things that they believe in or not believed in, now I think people are having trouble, really dissecting what they believe in, to be honest with you. And my conclusion, I understand that might have just been a confusing ass explanation. And my conclusion to all of this is that confirmation bias is a bitch. And I think at the end of the day, people will believe just what they want to believe, and they will search for the things that confirm what they believe in at the end of the day, because people do not even know what confirmation bias is and how flawed their way of thinking is.
Might be better, you might have more money, but fear? The fuck? You put on one shoe just like me every day. So, I don't know. That's just my take on it.
So, Gil,
we done with the 90s.
Players don't fear LeBron.
We
Facts.
done with the 90s, bro.
Shout out Mike Pick.
Because they letting you know exactly what their mindset was.
Well, he said Kobe too.
Huh?
He said Kobe too, so.
Who was the one man that, what they tell Kobe when he first got in the league? Don't look him in his eyes. And Kobe said, what?
Who?
Don't look who in the eyes.
Yeah, so that,
right?
yeah.
So that lets you know, what kind of, this is the toughest era in basketball. They're scared of the dude. Mm-hmm. They're fearful of the dude. They're shaking because the dude, number 23, oh shit, I gotta guard MJ. That's what they're telling you.
Yeah.
They're telling you the dude with the number 23 on, we're scared of him. Mm-hmm.
Now, Gil does not want to address that Kobe is literally in the same conversation as well. But okay.
Respected his game so much that we're afraid of him?
Damn.
I'm sorry. That lets me know y'all are some hoes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because Kobe at 18 came in, they said, don't look him in his eye.
Who? Him?
Oh, he look human. I'm not scared of this dude. That's the only thing I can go from. I'm looking from the vision of a real killer. Yeah. Jordan was the killer. Mm-hmm. Everybody else he killed. Mm-hmm. And they're running around telling you, don't look him in his eye, he gonna kill you. Mm-hmm. And then another killer faced up like, nah, I'm gonna look him in his eye because I'm a killer too.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah Thomas, killer.
So the fact that that's what you wanna run around and say nobody is scared because there's more killers today that says, nah, we're not going to be scared of a dude. He going to have to guard me like I'm going to have to guard him. That just lets me know mentally y'all was weak in that era then.
And this is what I'm talking about with the whole confirmation bias thing. I don't even know how. Well, I know now, but the fact that Gil was able to pull that take out of this scenario is kind of crazy to me. Yeah, I think when Gil said that, we done with the 90s was in his head, and he listened to this take from Shaq, and Mario Chalmers, and pulled what he wanted to pull away from it to confirm his take about the 90s. And literally, you can hear it. Kenyon Martin just said they mentioned Kobe. They mentioned Kobe as well as a player that NBA players feared, and he is just refusing to address it. Now, I would like to see if Kenyon Martin brings it back up, or any of these dudes bring it back up, because this same logic once again applies to the 2000s when Kobe Bryant was at his peak. They are saying Kobe is one of those dudes that players feared in your era, Gil. In your era. So how will he address that? How will you respond, Gilbert Arenas?
I'm just thinking like throughout the duration of it, just whatever. But yeah, I see both sides of it.
Right? I mean, that's what I said. You came in, you hooked the dude and said, oh, this what y'all, I'm not worried about y'all.
Yeah.
Next,
Right?
Like next one.
But think about when you get, that's what you're saying. Like, I hooked them, waiting for some action, and then nothing happened. Oh, they weak.
No, yeah,
I mean, what I'm saying is...
everybody ain't built that way.
Huh?
Everybody ain't built like, everybody don't have...
So the fact that y'all going out as grown-ass men talking about, he's a black cat, oh, shit, he coming.
Yeah.
Don't look. Don't look up. Don't look up. Don't look up, nigga.
Bro, y'all are tripping.
Don't look up.
Oh, my God. Y'all are scared. Y'all really believed in the boogeyman then.
What Eddie Murphy say about the Prince shit?
Yeah.
What was it, Eddie Murphy, or no, was it Jamie Foxx? Say you looked in his eyes, didn't you? Say, shit, what happened? I've been fucking him for 6 months. He said, don't look in his eyes.
But yeah, I don't like that whole fair thing with Bron. Like, just like stop. It don't matter.
But that's what I'm saying. You're trying to discredit someone, but you make
It really don't matter at the end of the day, man. If you can't beat him, you can't beat him. I don't know. But also, like, I've heard stories about motherfuckers fearing LeBron, bro. DeMar? Bro, DeMar was on Paul George's podcast, and they literally had a whole podcast kumbaya of just, Bron busted your ass? Shit, you busted mine too, pause. A whole segment of just, man, I don't know how we, like, I'm telling you, like, they might have just didn't use the word fear, which I respect them for not doing. Which I don't think they should have feared LeBron. I don't think they did fear LeBron. The same way I personally feel like people didn't fear Kobe like that. People didn't fear Jordan like that. I think people are just gassing up that word fear right now. Like, it's not that serious.
yourself look stupid at the same time.
Yeah, like who cares?
Yeah, you can't discredit him because the body of work is what it is, right? So whether guys did or they didn't, when he first came in, wasn't nobody going, in our era. He was a good basketball player, but we came in, ain't like, ain't nobody, but he was still doing, the Pistons was supposed to be the toughest, and then you see what he did to them.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, they didn't fear him, I'm pretty sure. And
Paul Pierce didn't fear him either.
Absolutely.
You see what happened.
Yeah, so no, it ain't even about that. But I'm just like, like I said, just ask the teammates, and then you'll get a clear understanding on what this conversation is. Because I never played with either one of them. You never been on a team. Yeah, so it's just, but you go talk to their teammates, I think it'll be a different
No one fears Shea right now. No one fears Luka right now. And
Giannis,
and obviously, them motherfuckers whooping y'all ass. So, you know what I mean? It's a different time. Like, that's what I'm saying. Saying it out loud makes you look bad.
I said this on a podcast, so I just think this whole conversation is an all or nothing thing. And I'm definitely butchering how I want to explain this. But it's on some, whatever y'all think they feared Michael Jordan and LeBron and Kobe with, I think players of today fear LeBron and a Jokic and a Giannis in that same way. Because again, I felt like that whole fear thing was just, boy, this man's about to be a matchup nightmare tonight. You know what I'm saying? And you can say that about Jokic. You can say that about Giannis. You can say that about LeBron. You can say that about Shea. You can say that about Luka. So I think it's one of those things that either apply or do not apply to more players than you think with this conversation.
Mm-hmm. That you are a grown-ass man in the NBA.
And the more and more I talk about it, yeah, Brandon Jennings is right, man. This shit does not matter, man. Is he busting your ass or not? And if he is busting your ass, what are you going to do to stop him? Like, literally. Hey, shout out to Brandon Jennings, man, because that's literally what it sounded like to my ear right now. Who fucking cares, bro?
Scared of another NBA player. Just.
Yeah, I was looking at some shit earlier, like Mike was really out here touring with motherfuckers though. Like that. Yeah, you saw the highlight earlier.
What am I doing?
Brett Price.
Yeah.
Motherfucker just moving the ball on there.
Like a little midget sitting there just waving and shit. Like, come on, dog, don't do that, man. He just make you look stupid out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was real out here touring with them.
He was afraid. He was afraid.
Yeah, because they had, like, to everybody, like, they had never seen anything like this. They can say all that shit they want Dr. J was doing when he came out. Cool. It wasn't doing that.
They didn't see it move like this.
Not at all. Not in the air, not with grace, not with, like, just some of the layups. Like, this shit was like, yo, I was like, yo, this man was out here really toying with y'all, man. Like,
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, like, I get the pushback. But also, I guess to play devil's advocate is, like, me hearing these players' experiences, and Kenyon Martin saying the same thing. It's like, we're saying all of this right now, but these guys play with these dudes. So are we gonna say that they're lying when we don't know what they went through? That's to me the interesting part about this conversation is how much are you willing to really trust what these players say. I think I personally crossed the threshold of, in terms of analyzing the game, these NBA players can just be as flawed as us regular dudes because some of the points that they make are just factually incorrect. But when it comes to experiences in the NBA, when it comes to stories about how they're telling their own career, how you about to say they're capping? That's my biggest thing. So with that being said, though, I think they're just about to riff for the rest of this clip anyways. Shout out to Gills Arena for the clip. Interesting conversation regardless. Do players fear LeBron? Did players really fear Kobe and MJ? Or is it all cap? Is it all just marketing at the end of the day? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. And I'm out, man. Peace.